So, at the time of writing this video, gang, Oshur has just come out. In fact, by the time I'm recording gameplay for the video as background footage, there's a chance I've actually had a chance to jump on and play it on the live server during my lunch break at work or something. If you're seeing gameplay, then you know your answer there, you know I actually got on and had a go. But I wanted to use this opportunity to have a chat about the nature of Oshur's release in the lead up to the actual review for the continent and the talk about the patch notes and all that stuff, as well as have a chat about some of the other stuff that's going on for the channels of late. G'day there once again viewers, your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today this is going to be a nice and calm video with a few updates for y'all. Let's pull up a chair and chat. So yeah, there's a few things we need to talk about here today, gang. The first thing might seem a little out of left field for me personally, given that I am primarily a gaming content creator here on YouTube, for that matter. But those of you who have stopped by my streams lately will know that I'm a bit of a shutterbug in my free time. I love photography, and after getting my streaming camera, which is the Sony a6400 and a couple of lenses for it, I've started diving back into my photography passions. And some of you, much to my surprise, have taken an interest in what I'm going to be doing so with my photography content. So I decided to kickstart a channel Instagram account. This sucker is basically going to be my drop board for all things photography, but I'll also use it for posting cheeky gameplay screenshots that I nab, thumbnail edits that I particularly like, and just behind the scenes stuff like, you know, stories of what I'm getting up to outside of the channel, a place where you guys can see a bit of the behind the scenes, if you will. It's just going to be a bit of fun. Now, the account is named CamiCamera78, which is a name I can't take credit for. We have my gorgeous girlfriend to thank for that one, but you can find it linked in the description down below or by searching for it on Instagram. It currently sports the same profile picture that you'll find on all my other social medias for clarity, so it's easy to find. But shameless self-plugs aside, guys, Oshur is live today, and as I said before, at the time of writing this video, this continent has just come out. I haven't had a chance to play it before recording the commentary here, so you won't find any opinions or analysis of what has made it to the live server here today. We're going to handle that in a separate video on the weekend if all goes according to plan. But one thing I did want to touch on is the nature of the continent's release to the live server, because I've seen a lot of criticism surrounding the testing cycles and how quickly the continent went live. Here's the thing, guys, and I know this might sound like a bit like a 180 since my last take on the test server and its utilization around the crossbow, but please do give me a moment to make my point. All I can say is that when it comes to something like Oshur, we can't chase perfection at the cost of an additional month or two of testing. Now, I promise you this, guys, if you were to ask me whether or not developers should release content in a state that should be fixed over time, or should delay the content to release a more polished product, I very much will, more likely than not, fall on the side of delaying said content. It's why I'm so disappointed by the release of, say, Battlefield 2042, or back in the day, Cyberpunk 2077, because it's clear that those titles needed way more time in the oven. And did Oshur need more time in the oven? Maybe. I don't know yet. But in life, ladies and gentlemen, I have very much learned to follow the 80-20 rule when it comes to my endeavors, whether that be with work, my content, or my university studies back in the day. I would ensure that I prioritize my time on the most important 80% of whatever task I was working on. And if I had time afterwards, I would work on that final 20% to achieve that perfection that I was seeking. To me, it's all about getting that important, impactful 80% out of the way first, because if you fixate on the 20% after the fact, you're going to end up delaying your releases or never finishing anything you do in life. For example, if I was to focus on making my videos completely perfect every single time, I would get videos out at a much slower pace. There are times where I look at a thumbnail, I look at a video, and I could go, well, I could tighten this up a little bit, or I could, you know, fix a script slightly here, or I could, you know, add a small little lighting effect to a thumbnail here. But I also know that the percentage of people who would notice that small detail that I added, or notice that small fix that I made, would be tiny. It's also the same with my university studies. If I get to a point where I feel as though I have a piece or an essay that's worth 80% out of 100% of worth of grades, and then I focus on the additional 20% when I really should start working on the next assignment that I haven't even started yet, and that due date is getting closer, then I'm hurting myself at the end of the day. The point is, guys, I feel like, based on the state in which Oshur was in when I was testing it, that we were very close to that 80% point. Yes, there were bugs on the latest build of Oshur that we had to test, but the developers assured us that a lot of that game-breaking stuff had been addressed by the point for the release. And sure, some more polish could have been made, but I also understand that delaying a content to deal with some small amounts of jank to dial in on that last 20, 10 or even 5% worth of perfection is not worth the PR, band-aiding, and lost hype you have to deal with when you delay the continent. Battlefield 2042 and Cyberpunk 2077 weren't even close to 80% of the way when they launched. They probably weren't even close to 50% of the way there. I feel like we at least were most of the way there with Oshur based on what I had to test. And new bugs may have found their way to live. That can happen as well. We just have to hope that the developers are up to the task of squashing these bugs quickly. One thing I know that will also be brought up is that, well, Cammy, the base design means that the continent isn't even close to 80% complete now. And once again, I'll make more judgments on that as I play on it more, but I'll agree. I have some concerns on that front too with some of the base designs, particularly around interlink facilities and tridents. But by the same token, I know that redesigning some of these bases are going to take a lot of time, especially with how a lot of the terrain is molded around these bases particularly. Going back to the drawing board from the public test server is no small trip. It's a big endeavor. And when you have something in the public eye only to go back to that drawing board, that can have some serious repercussions on hype and general excitement for the content. And not to mention, when you go back to the drawing board and reiterate back to the test server again, you've got to do another round of extensive testing to make sure that works. It's all about working out the cost-to-benefit ratio of releasing something that might be a bit experimental and might not work, or about reeling it all the way back for a second try. Personally, I'm just happy that we've at least gotten 2 weekends worth of concentrated testing, and overall, I enjoyed my time on the continent, and on first impressions, I didn't think we needed a total return to stage 1. Some people may disagree with me on that one, and that's okay. But all I have to say, guys, is keep your expectations in check, because I think expecting total redesigns on the test server prior to release might be a little bit too much expectations. And look, we'll see as time goes on, guys. Oshur's honeymoon period will run out eventually. People will metafy the continent, and we'll see if there's any gaping big holes in gameplay flow that we need to address real quickly here. As of right now, I'm excited to try out the continent extensively and get some more experience under my belt. On that note, we are going to be doing 2 live streams this weekend, testing out the new continent, putting it through its paces, seeing what we can work out. And on top of that, we're going to be having some giveaways as well. So make sure you keep an eye out on the channel, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to stay up to date with whenever we go live in the future. But despite this big weekend coming up and the fact that Oshur has just dropped, guys, your boy is going to be taking some time off very shortly. On February the 4th, I'm actually flying out with a bunch of my best mates to Queensland, Gold Coast, Queensland, to spend some time away and just, you know, finally get a vacation in. We've been looking forward to doing so for a very long time. So I'm going to be trying my absolute best, guys, to get a lot of content in the firing line to upload automatically while I'm away, but don't expect any live streams for that week while I'm gone. Again, I'm going to try my best to get videos preloaded and good to go, but if you see a bit of a dip in channel activity, well, then you know why. It's because I'm not at my computer. I'm just enjoying a damn good time in Queensland, that's all I can say. But some of the upcoming content that you guys will be seeing is the Carbine tier list. We're also doing a Planetside 2 wish list of things I want to see improved upon over the time. And I also want to do a bit of a return trip to things like Titanfall 2. I want to do a return trip to Squad and the new Leap game, that Leap first-person shooter that's out and about at the moment, or has done a testing round and is going to be doing another one soon. I'm really looking forward to trying that out as well and getting a video out for that one. Oh, and as soon as Planetside 2's roadmap comes out as well, I'll be reporting on that as well, guys, so get ready for that. But yeah, guys, that's sort of everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. A bit of a nice and calm one, a bit of a calm before the storm, a calm before the proper Oshur videos that are going to come out within the next week. Once again, guys, I'm going to do my absolute best to work ahead here and see how I go, but with how my IRL work's been lately and how busy I've been there, then there's a chance that that might fall by the wayside as well, but I'll keep you guys posted. If you guys enjoyed the video, backhand the like button. It goes a long way to supporting the channel, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. Also goes a long way, and it means you get to stay up to date with whenever we go live or release a new video, all that good stuff. As always, follow me on all my social media links linked down below, including my Instagram, guys. Go check that one out. Lots of cool stuff's going to be happening there. And as always, if you want to support the channel further, consider a channel membership. It goes a long, long way in, you know, helping me do what I do here. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.